You got it. You've got Technocom.
Buy Gitomer is a sales training business. I am a writer and I have 10 books to my credit. I've been writing since March of 1992. I travel around the world and give seminars to large companies. We have 30 people who work here. We have a dozen printers. We have 2 major copy machines, and we have an administrative need that deals with my handouts, that deals with copies of my book when I'm printing them, sometimes 200-300 pages at a time, and the normal things that you would have. We have a shipping department where we ship out a ton of books and get a ton of orders, and some of them get faxed in, we have to make copies to put inside packing slips. I moved to Charlotte in 1988, July of 1988, and at the time I was doing some consulting work for a business magazine that was about to publish in Charlotte. My third sales call was to Jim Riggins, where we sat in his office and talked about placing an ad in my magazine, which he agreed to do. Cool. And then he said, well, what are you going to do for a copy machine? And I said, well, as soon as it's in the budget, because at the time I wasn't doing that well. I said, as soon as it's in the budget, I'll get one from you. Okay, fine. Goodbye, goodbye. Thanks, bye. The next morning, there was a knock on my door. Jim Riggins asked me to deliver this copy machine to you, and when you can afford to pay for it, you can start paying. What happened was he had a machine in his warehouse that someone had turned in, a used machine, whatever it was, and I had a copy machine for free. And I couldn't believe it. So 22 years later, I'm still with Technocom. Technocom knows my business. Technocom knows my needs. Sometimes our machines need service. Technocom is right there when we call them. They schedule an appointment, the guy actually shows up when he says he's going to show up, and they can fix it. So I've had literally 0 times where I've had to call back and go, where's the guy, where's the guy, where's the guy? None of that happens. So the key element in the long-term relationship is reliability. That's where I count on Technocom. When someone asks me about Technocom, I tell them to call Jim Riggins personally, because he's the kind of person that you want to get to know as a businessman, number one, but you don't want a vendor. You want somebody you can have a relationship with. So when I recommend Technocom, I also recommend Jim Riggins, and I make them call him personally, tell them that I sent you, say, Jeffrey sent you, and he will help you. Not just sell you something, he will help you. They go in, they see what you need, they figure out the resolve, and then they place the resolve and service it. I think a local company is better than a national company for one reason. They're flexible. Jim Riggins can come in here, or his Technocom people can come in here and look at my situation and design something for me rather than try to sell me something that they have. You know, the big giant corporation someplace, and who knows where, creates these packages, and you either have to buy the package or not, and they're trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. With Technocom, they come in and they look at what I have and they fix something just for me, and that's what we really need. Technocom is not a copier company, they're not a printer company, they're a relationship company. They're a long-term company. I have, the word that I use when I talk to somebody about Technocom is loyalty. I'm loyal to them and they are loyal to me. And that has been the basis for our relationship for 22 years.